for that this week. It's time to press Control, Alt, and Compete. Refresh those rosters, guys, and see where each team stands heading into the season. Today, we start with the Cowboys, of course, the team that I cover here at NFL Network. And our own Adam Rank has their State of the Franchise up on NFL.com right now. So, Kyle, give us a rundown of what exactly Dallas has done this offseason, because it has been extensive.
Let's do it. Control, Alt, Delete, which never works. I think this segment, though, will work. And let's take a look what the Cowboys have done. Obviously, the headliner, Dak Prescott, signed for all the money. He is the future of the Cowboys. He's the presence. They sign him everything. He's not going anywhere. They've got Micah Parsons, the big old linebacker at Penn State, number 11. We love them. Keanu Neal, an old Dan Quinn player from Atlanta, is now in playing linebacker. Andy Dalton is in Chicago. Chidobe Awuzie is in Cincinnati. And there is the man of the hour. Defensive coordinator Dan Quinn, who once won the NFC, now has the task of changing what Peter once called 26 times in one segment a putrid Cowboys defense from last year. That is the update, Slater, but I don't have to tell you.
All right, so guys, I'm going to go around the horn here and ask you, for the 2021 season to be a success for the Cowboys, this was the question that Adam Rank posed, again, on NFL.com. What do the Cowboys need to do? And we are going to start with you, Peter. I'm curious. What are your thoughts?
I don't get the 1980s Duran Duran erasure background music. That's unfortunate. I love that music, by the way. That was great. We're in Control Alt Delete is as much 2021 as it is. I still live in that world. They need to start fast. This is the deal. They play the Buccaneers week 1, and that might be a loss. But then the next 9 opponents for the Cowboys all missed the playoffs last year. So I can go through it real quick here. When you look at the schedule, it's at Tampa. Let's say they lose that game because Tampa is coming in and they're raising the banner, the whole thing. Chargers, Eagles, Panthers, Giants, Patriots, Vikings, Broncos, Falcons. The next 9 teams missed the playoffs last year. So Cowboys, get out fast. Start 7-3. Start 8-2, start 6-4, give yourself a cushion, then get to 10 or 11 wins and you're NFC East champions. I think for the Cowboys to win, they cannot be muddling through September and October and finding themselves. We know all the key players. We know that there's going to be a new defense, but we also know that this offense should put up a lot of points. Cowboys, anything 5-5 or worse after 10 weeks, I don't see them making the playoffs.
No doubt about it. I'll jump right in. Listen, I'm looking at these wide receivers, and we've talked about this offense extensively. We talked about how good this wide receiver group can be, but now that we have Dak Prescott back and healthy, we know he can roll out of bed and throw for 5,000 yards any season. But Amari Cooper, CeeDee Lamb, and we will have Michael Gallup on the show later on, so I'll press him and talk to him about how good this wide receiver group can be. But they're going to need to lead the league statistically. At the very least, 2 of their wide receivers should be at the top. We're talking about yards and touchdowns, because when you have that, you have something special on offense that can not just carry you through the regular season, but into the postseason. I have some examples. We remember last year, 2020 season, right? Stephon Diggs, Cole Beasley. Okay, Stephon Diggs did most of the heavy lifting, but those guys made it to the AFC Championship game. Remember Demaryius Thomas, Eric Decker. They had 2,700 yards. They advanced to a Super Bowl. Julio Jones, Roddy White. We're talking about Julio. That was one hell of a combination with those 2 guys. Victor Cruz, Akeem Nicks. They won a Super Bowl. And Randy Moss and Wes Welker, we remember that season. They actually advanced to a Super Bowl but failed to win it. What I'm saying is, when you have 2, and these guys could possibly have 3 guys statistically lead the league collectively with their stats, that means they are close to unstoppable. So that's what they need to do to take that next step.
The wideouts are really fancy and talented. Dak is paid. He's here. The defense is bad. It needs to get better. These are the beats that we hit with the Cowboys. For some reason, I don't know why, it's always below the fold to talk about their superstar running back. Ezekiel Elliott should never go more than 2 minutes in a Cowboys conversation without being mentioned. Remember this guy? Where is he? What's going on here? I see workout videos of him where he says he's getting his groove back and he's in shape, and that's awesome, but I don't see it on the field. I see a plodding runner who fumbles. And guys, they're not winning squat in the NFC East, the NFC, unless this guy making so much money is worth even half of it. full confession. So I've been quarantining here in Australia. I haven't left the hotel room in 8 days. I've been playing video games. Back when I was 22. And you know how sometimes there's video games where you get tokens or money, you can spend them on powers to power yourself up. And you want to just spend them all on like your attack power. But the smart thing to do is be like some on attack, some on defense, some on magic, some on stealth. I got this from the researcher. Look at just the economics of what you could spend for Ezekiel Elliott versus what you could spend on some other guys. On the left, wow. 15 million annual value comparison. Do you want that crew on the right? Chubb and Brown and DK and Mark Andrews. And then also, by the way, have like $11 million left over to just spend on some dumb stuff and put it on black on roulette. That's the kind of money comparatively that number 21 for the Dallas Cowboys is making. And I don't see production anywhere. This is not personal. Zeke, whatever, root for him or not, it's just not there. Running back is a bottom line business. And I see Derrick Henry running for about 100,000 yards every single Sunday. I don't see that from Zeke. We need it now, dude.
I love all of your wives, but the fact that Brooke let you go to Australia this offseason to play video games in a hotel room for 12 weeks is fascinating.
I'm not sure who you're talking about. She doesn't speak to me anymore. So it's going to be fun time.
Big ups to your wife. Big ups to this Cowboys team for finally addressing the defense. And I'm talking a complete revision of it. Even when I was out at OTAs last week, I found myself referring to the roster a lot because there is so much change. They brought in so many new guys via free agency, let guys depart in free agency, and of course, spent most of their draft, 8 of their picks, I believe it was, of the 11, going all in on defense. And there is a different energy. While a lot of these teams around the league chose not to participate in OTAs, the Cowboys, I asked them specifically, I said, did anyone really say maybe they didn't want to participate in OTAs? And I was told they don't even think there was one dissenter. And there's the fact that so many of these guys live in the Dallas area. They see the value in the facilities, but more importantly, they wanted to get back to work. They kept saying, we're trying to build something around here. And I don't think people realized how bad the chemistry on the defensive side of the ball truly was last season. A lot of that had to do with the coaches they brought in here. When these guys talk about Dan Quinn, and I know a lot of people have talked about Dan Quinn's records, it's his energy that I think is the most important. It was even Leighton Vander Esch who was talking about the fact that he's going back to the role that he played 2 years ago, something that he emphasized he believed should have happened. He should have played that role last year. He said that the defensive scheme wasn't so much of an issue as getting the reps in. These guys talked about the fact that Dan Quinn mixes it up in his J's with them. And it was even Terrell Basham, who, of course, chose Dallas in the offseason, said, what he loves about this coaching staff is they're really good about telling you your good habits and your bad habits. For him, he didn't realize how many bad angles he took. But the biggest thing, whether it's the energy, whether it's the effort, it's the turnovers and takeaways. That's been a problem in Dallas. We're not really worried about the offense. It's this defense. And there was reasons to be optimistic when you look at the last 9 games of the season. In fact, they had 20 takeaways, best in the NFL during that span. They've been emphasizing the takeaways and the turnovers for years. That's what I've been hearing in Dallas. We'll see if they get that done, but that is certainly something the Cowboys need to do if they want to compete in the NFC this year. So, guys, I know we've got a lot more to talk about, like I said, as it relates to what the Falcons did, the Titans did, and, of course, we're always going to talk Cowboys, especially when I fill in here on Good Morning Football. So all the fans, sorry, you know what you're getting when I come in here and